All right. So just know that success is always, always there for you. The question is, how many times are you willing to fall down and get back up, dust yourself off, learn the lessons, adjust your path, and move forward? Because often people fall down once and then they go running back to their comfort zone. That's not success. You will not achieve the success that you want. You keep on moving forward. Now, I just want to quickly mention one other thing. There are people that say, never give up, just move forward, never give up, never give up. Listen, if there's one step in there that's critical, by the way. If you do this instead, you get back up, you fall down, you get back up, dust yourself off, you move forward, and that's it. Chances are you will not be successful. You need to learn the lessons and adjust your path accordingly. It's feedback. It's feedback. It's that failure is telling you, okay, so that didn't work. So why don't you try this instead? You need to learn the lessons and move forward. Success is there for everyone. And the more you fail, the more success you'll achieve. You ask anyone. I failed so many times. Oh my goodness. I just never gave up, but I always learned a lesson and adjusted my path accordingly. So I went off on a totally different tangent, but that's okay. So step one is basically your thoughts. Your thoughts it's very important. You need to really become keenly aware of the story you're telling about what's happening in your life. Change that story because it's a story. It's a story. Yes, you might be $124,000 in debt like I was, right? But the story I told around it was just my narrative. And it's time to change that narrative to something positive. In other words, if I'm $124,000 in debt, I would say, listen, yeah, this sucks, I know, but I know I can get out of it. And not only that, one day I'm going to be making millions. I just need to figure out how to do it. I am going to get through this, and I'm going to get through it, and I'm going to get through it in a really big way, right? And take it from once you start shifting that mindset, all of a sudden you're in a totally different mindset where all of a sudden opportunities and ideas and things and people all of a sudden start showing up into your life that probably have shown up before, but you never paid attention. And then you start seeing the opportunities that come in front of you. And next thing you know, you're out of debt. You're making more money than you've ever made in your life. And this goes for every single area of your life. Now, the second step is how to reprogram your subconscious mind. And what that is your limiting beliefs, your beliefs about that area in your life that isn't working. We all have beliefs. We have integrated these beliefs from when we were children and straight through into adulthood. And things have happened. People said things to us, whether it's our parents, it's our friends, it's our colleagues or teachers. Experiences happen, and then we then we take on these beliefs. It could be anything from money doesn't grow on trees, but when it comes to money, it could be rich people are crooks. I'll never be rich. Those are for other people, not for us. For us, we're just working people kind of thing. Whatever those beliefs are. When you have limiting beliefs around an area of your life that isn't working, okay, so I'm going to rephrase that. If there's an area in your life that isn't working right now, it is because you have limiting beliefs around that area in your life. All right, so what's important to know is to find out what those limiting beliefs are, because those limiting beliefs, negative beliefs you have around that area of your life, is what's sabotaging you from being successful. So again, step one is becoming aware of what you're thinking. That's pretty easy because it's your conscious mind. You could consciously start thinking, wait, what am I thinking, right? But the second step, which is reprogramming your subconscious mind, it's back here. So you don't even know that it's there, but now you're becoming aware of it. And so now you're looking for it. And the best way to find out if you have any limiting negative beliefs around that area of your life that isn't working, whether it's finances, relationship, whether it's career, business, whether it's your health, I want you to really think about the story you tell yourself around that area of your life. And the best way to do that, by the way, is to just write it down. So I journal. Like I have my own little ritual. I get up very early in the morning and I have my own little ritual, and I have a good hour just to myself. And I spend a lot of time journaling. A part of that hour is journaling, reading, journaling, meditating. And journaling is just basically taking what's coming up in my head and putting it on paper and not editing it in any way, just throwing it on paper. And then once you see that on paper, you say to yourself, wow, do I really believe that? I can't believe I'm telling myself that, right? And so you can find out just by writing it all out what your beliefs are in that area. If you're single and you can't find your soulmate, and all you're thinking is, I'm too old, I'm too fat, no, I'm not lovable, what's wrong with me, all these negative things, it's going to be really hard to find your soulmate, because these limiting beliefs are sabotaging you. Because if you believe that at the subconscious level, even though you're not necessarily aware of it, what happens is you start taking action in life based on these beliefs that will never get you to where you want to go. That goes for every area of your life. Again, could be financial, could be relationships, could be health, could be career, whatever it is. You need to uncover what those limiting beliefs are. I'm going to share something with you. It's a little story of what happened to me with my business, because for the longest time, once I bounced back, I was making 6 figures in my business. And although that was great and I got out of debt and everything was great and it was doing really well, I was having trouble hitting that 7-figure mark. Yet all my friends and colleagues have hit that 7-figure mark. And all I was thinking to myself was, I don't understand. What am I doing wrong that's not getting me to the next level? I'm always stuck at the 6 figures. It's multiple 6 figures, but still 6 figures. I couldn't reach that 7-figure mark. And I remember one day I was driving, and I remember I was on my way to the dog park. I had my little dog next to me in the car. I was stopped at a red light. And I started thinking, and I thought, I don't get it. Why can't I reach 7 figures? Really don't get it. I can't work more hours. Like, there was no way I could work more hours. I was working really hard. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And I was just sitting there quietly. And then I became aware of something that popped into my head. And it was this thought, I'm not kidding you. It was, really, Sonia, do you really want to achieve that 7-figure level? In order for you to achieve 7 figures, you're going to have a lot of staff. And do you remember when you were working in the corporate world? I used to work in the fitness world, and I used to manage health clubs. Do you remember when you worked in the corporate world, and I had 300 employees that I oversaw? And I just thought to myself, well, you hated having to manage so many people. Do you remember how miserable you were? You don't want that 7 million or that 7 figures. You're going to be miserable. And then it turned green. And I was like a big aha. And I'm like, did I just say that to myself? I have this belief that as soon as I hit 7 figures, I'm going to be miserable, right? Because I'm going to have a huge team, and then they're going to quit, and then you have to hire, and then there's issues and all this. Oh my goodness, I don't want that. And so that was what was stopping me. So I wasn't taking the action necessary to take it to the next level because I was being blocked. But then once I became aware of this belief that I didn't even realize was there until I started really paying attention, I was able to shift it. And my new intention was this. My new belief was, not only can I hit 7 figures, I can hit multiple 7 figures, and I can do it with a small team. And the small team is going to be the dream team. And they're all there really supporting this amazing mission of helping people bounce back from difficult times and help them live their greatest lives. It will be amazing. And I had a new belief. I shifted that. And guess what happened? My business went to the next level, right? Because I just cleared that block. There was nothing, I didn't even realize that message was even coming into my mind. And so it's important to really reprogram those beliefs, those negative beliefs that are sabotaging your success in that area of your life that isn't working. And the final step is getting yourself to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude, regardless of what's going on in your life. Now, right off the bat, I want you to know that by reprogramming your conscious mind, which is reframing what you're thinking, becoming aware of what you're thinking, and realizing that how you feel right now, whenever you're not feeling good, by the way, anytime you're not feeling good, just ask yourself this question: what am I thinking right now? Because what you're thinking is causing you to feel the way you do. And then start paying attention to your thoughts. And it's like, oh, well, that's why. Okay, let's change that. Right? And by the way, a really quick way to shift how you're feeling in any given time, which is really connected to the step 3, is becoming grateful for what you do have in your life. Gratitude is so important in your life to feel good and enjoy life. My mom passed away 3 years ago, a while ago, and I was feeling really down because that happened. Obviously, she was the woman that loved me more than anyone on this planet. And it was like I had somebody chopped off an arm, a limb. I just felt really lost and I felt down and I was crying. And I said, okay, well, now's a good time to write the 50 Shades of Gratitude. And I sat down and I wrote 50 things that I am grateful for in my life, and including my mom. And I'm like, I'm grateful that I had my mom for as long as I did. I'm grateful that I had the most amazing mom. I am grateful that, I still have my dad. I am grateful that I have the most amazing brother. And then all of a sudden, it just released off my shoulders and I felt better immediately. So this third step, to get yourself to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude, those are the highest vibrational frequencies. Those states, no matter what, whether you believe in that or not, I actually wrote a book called The Law of Attraction, Plain and Simple, and it's all about vibrational frequency. And it's like what you put out there is what you get back into your life. And the reality is, if you get yourself to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude, everything will fall into place beautifully in your life, in the sense that you will feel good, you will be projecting a positive version of you, and people will love you and will attract a lot more positive, amazing people into your life, and a positive, amazing opportunities and all that into your life. And what's interesting is that once you get to that state, like doing the step 1 and step 2 and mastering those immediately helps you get to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude, because you've released all the negativity, right? And so you're already feeling good. But if you want to take it to the next level, where you truly are, listen, things are going to happen in life and you will have moments of unhappiness or sadness when these things happen, but you'll be able to bounce back really quickly. I'm not saying all of a sudden nothing's ever going to happen in your life. Life is life. Things are going to happen. The question is, how do you react to them? And what do you do to turn things around and move forward from that? And be able to still love life even when it isn't perfect. And it is possible. And so this third step, the best way, and this is really important, is really taking the time to connect to your higher self, your inner self, whether it's through meditation, through exercise, through journaling, right? All these things that really help you release all that stress, all that negativity. Because as soon as you're able to do that, when you're going through a difficult time, there's so much fog going on that you could have the solution to your problem that'll take your life to the next level right in front of you, but you won't see it because the fog is so thick. And so it's important to get yourself to that state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude. So that way that fog is lifted and it's right there in front of you. And when I say love, by the way, I'm talking about always coming from a place of love. And I know nowadays that's not easy to do. If you're on Facebook, even for 5 minutes, it could be pretty depressing. Just so much, oh my God, so much so many angry people and divisiveness and all that is really, really negative. And the reality is everyone's doing the best they can with the knowledge that they have, with the tools that they have. And the only control you have is how you react to it. Right? And what I say every time feel like I'm getting upset, the first thing I do is say this to myself: always come from a place of love. And I say it 3 times: always come from a place of love, always come from a place of love, always come from a place of love. And in that moment, I say, if I were coming from a place of love, how would I react right now? And then act that way. And that has diffused so many potential arguments or issues. And you feel good when you come from that place, and others feel good receiving it from you, right? So love, peace, inner peace, meditate, really go deep inside. Take the time for yourself. If you don't like to meditate, go in nature. For me, I love to paint. Painting is like meditation for me. I do a lot of canvas paintings, and I spend a lot of time meditating. Not a lot of time, but maybe 20 minutes a day meditating as well. It really helps me, and just get yourself to, and gratitude is very important. Once you do these 3 steps, all of a sudden you're feeling great about life. All of a sudden you're starting to recognize that there are opportunities there. There are open doors everywhere. Often when we're going through a difficult time, we're staring at a closed door. It's like staring at a closed door because we're resisting what's going on. And you cannot change a situation in any way, shape, or form until you accept what's going on. All those shoulds, it should or shouldn't be that way. Why is this happening to me? All that kind of stuff. It's like staring at a closed door. And not only is it closed, it's locked. And it's very hard to move forward from that place. So what you do is you step away from that closed door. All of a sudden you're mastering these steps. And then you look around and you start noticing all the incredible open doors all around you. And those are doors of opportunity that will take your life to the next level, to where you want to take it. And you can be as successful as you want. And I'm going to tell you that right now, because I know we're running out of time here. I want you to do this from a financial. Let's talk about finances, because right now finance is a big deal for a lot of people. Write down right now in the next year how much you want to make in the next year, next 12 months. Write down that number right now. Okay, write it down. Now what I want you to do is times it by 10. That's your new goal. And the next question I'm going to ask you is, why didn't you put that original number to begin with? And chances are most people, when I ask them that question, they say, because I want to be realistic. Oh, I didn't ask you, what's your realistic amount that you want to make? I asked you, how much do you want to make? You see, whatever you choose, that is what you will accomplish, right? Because that's your mindset. And all of a sudden you say, I want to make $50,000 this year. Well, then all of a sudden that's what your intention is, what you're focusing on. And the next thing you know, all these $50,000 ideas start popping up and opportunities, right? If you times it by 10, it's $500,000, which sounds crazy. But the reality is, all of a sudden you start thinking differently and start attracting opportunities and ideas on how to make $500,000, right? So it really is all about this. It's about you. You can take control of your life, right? You can do that. Just master these 3 steps and you're on your way.
Hey, Sonia, we've had several people that are popping into the chat asking if you could please recap or list the 3 steps again. Right. So for a nice tight, they like to take good notes here. So.
Okay, step 1 is reprogram your conscious mind. Your conscious mind are your thoughts. So just become really aware of what you're thinking. And once you start realizing what you're thinking, that is what you need to shift to turn it into positive, empowering thoughts. The second step is reprogram your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind are your beliefs, what your beliefs are around that area of your life that isn't working, right? Once you become aware of what those subconscious limiting beliefs are, and once you become aware of it, then you can shift them and change them into positive, empowering beliefs. And then the third step is elevate what I call it is get yourself to a state of, I call it above 500 level, which I didn't mention. And that is getting yourself to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude. It is a state where you are projecting the highest vibration states. Those are the highest vibration states: love, peace, joy, and gratitude. When you're in that state, you're in a position to manifest and be able to attract all the amazing opportunities out there for you. All right. So again, it's reprogram your conscious mind, reprogram your subconscious mind, and elevate your vibrational frequency to a state of love, peace, joy, and gratitude. Those are the 3 steps. And just remember, success is always there for you.
Awesome. Hey, show Sonia some love here, and we are going to stay on, Sonia, so don't go anywhere. So we're going to give everybody an opportunity if they want to ask some questions. Kevin and I have some questions for you as well. So if you've got questions, put it in the chat and the team will feed it to us, and you can ask Sonia some questions. But in the meantime, I want to make sure, because I do not want to forget this. If somebody's out there, and by the way, we have people, we're broadcasting this. I want to show some love too to our Facebook audience, because we're broadcasting this live. We have as many people watching or more watching it live on Facebook as we do here in the community, Sonia. So please tell anyone listening how they can best connect with you. What's the best way to connect with you and your message?
Okay, well, there's a couple of ways. One way is just going to my website at soniaricotti.com. But the first thing I would recommend for sure for everybody, every single person, is to watch the Unsinkable movie. And you can actually get your ticket free. You can watch it online for free right now. And all you have to do is go to unsinkablemovie.com. It's unsinkablemovie.com. You can get your free ticket. There's 7 airings every single day. And you can just go ahead and watch the movie, because you'll learn so much. And we have some of the top experts, Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Lisa Nichols, John Assaraf, a lot of amazing, Jack Canfield, a lot of amazing.
How long is the movie, Sonia?
It's 80 minutes.
Okay, not too bad.
Yeah.
And the team is listening right now, so please put Sonia's website in the chat. Please put the link for the movie in the chat as well. I want everybody to have it, and I want to make sure that they don't misspell or anything. So team, please put that in the chat right now. Sonia, we had a quick question from somebody on, is there a schedule for, okay, no, that was asking, yeah, I was asking on the broadcast. And so, so on your YouTube, one of the things that's so interesting is that, how do they connect on YouTube? Because you've got a lot of your videos over on YouTube and a lot of downloads there. So what's the best way to go over there as well?
I would assume you just go to Sonia Ricotti and it'll pop up.
Okay, good. I didn't know if it was under Unsinkable. I didn't know if your YouTube was under Unsinkable or your name.
It's under Sonia Ricotti, actually, because it's a really old.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Okay, we got both links there. Okay. So here's the question. So we have an entire chapter in the book, Mentor to Millions. It's called Failure to Phoenix. And the concept is that, the phoenix is that mythical bird that only gets stronger if the previous version of itself dies. And so in the entrepreneurial world, they call that failure. You had an idea and you failed. And so using your 3-step process, if you're an entrepreneur and you've got this great idea and you're just so excited about it, and then you go out in the marketplace and nobody else is that excited about it, and you look at it and say, oh my gosh, I failed. What advice specifically for that situation? Because we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are listening, and they're like, I had this great idea. I told all my friends and family, and then nobody wanted to buy this.
Right. Well, I think the number one thing is making sure that if you do decide to start your own business, that you're actually selling something that people really want and need. Sometimes when we believe that it's the greatest thing since sliced bread because we love it, that doesn't mean the rest of the world does. And so ideally, before you go to market at all, you first test that market to make sure it's actually something that they're actually interested in. That's my belief. I know that when I have a book, I wrote the book Unsinkable, and I knew that I had something there because I chose to write that book because I knew it was going to help people, but I didn't really test it in advance. But I knew that I had something there because every time I told someone that this Unsinkable book was coming out, they would say, oh my God, I have to read that. I have to read that. Oh, I have my sister that needs to read that. Oh, my brother needs to. Oh my God, when is it coming out? And then I realized, wow, people really want this, or they're being really nice to me. I don't know. And that's when I realized I had something there. And then from there, I created a webinar. So I did it in baby steps. And every time I did something around that whole topic, it was always huge. It was always huge. I just realized, wait, this is for everybody. It's very rare you go into a business where usually it's very niche, but it's something that everyone needs at some point in their lives because everyone gets knocked down at some point. And that's how I know. I knew that it was right for me. So I think you really need to test the market to make sure that it actually works. And often you'll know if it works by seeing who's really successful in that area. In my particular case, there really weren't people, like I still don't know anyone who's really a bounce back expert focusing strictly on that, right? The way I am. So that's the advice I would give, is just don't go spending 3 years of your life creating something that somebody, like people may not be interested in. Then you just wasted 3 years and then you'd have to start something new again.
I call it the test before you invest system, right? And so, yeah, in the old days, we would spend 6 months, hundreds of thousands of dollars on a project and then find out nobody cared, right? We're like, wait, is the phone service actually around today? There's no calls, there's no orders. And then we would find out, wow, well, we got to go back, we tweak it, we this, we that. But today, there's many more vehicles that give you the chance to do a test before get it out there. Facebook and Instagram, social media, get a pulse on it before you spend, like you said, 3 years working on something that nobody cares about.
Exactly. And right. And because of the modern technology of today, it doesn't cost much to test it either.
Exactly.
No, that's for sure. All right. So that's the business side. So now the personal side. The fact is that you gave some very personal examples of your own life, and I appreciate you being so vulnerable and sharing so openly and honestly. That's why you're helping so many people, by the way, because we relate and we're attracted to that vulnerability. And so what about somebody out there that is facing something, a personal, real big failure or challenge, and their biggest thing is they don't want anybody to know that it's happened. And, and there are so many people that I've met that I had no idea that they were going through, a dear friend of mine went in for a routine blood exam, and they said, hey, we want to see you back. And they came back and they said, hey, we're concerned. And then, they found out he's got leukemia. And so you can choose to like internalize that, or somebody close to you passes away, or you have a big financial setback. The tendency is to keep it inside and not tell anybody. What advice do you give for somebody? Because you are just super vulnerable and people are drawn to that vulnerability. So talk to the people that have something really going on heavy and they're holding it all to themselves right now.
Yeah, I love that question. I think often what happens, and I'm actually one of those people normally, naturally, believe it or not, naturally, when I'm going through a difficult time, I go into my cave. I don't want to talk to anybody. You can call me and text me and you don't hear from me, that kind of thing. And I know that that's not the right thing, but that's how I deal with things often. So it is hard for me to be vulnerable and just come out and say all that. What I would recommend is that it's not a good thing to do it that way, by the way, because stress kills and you're keeping everything inside, and that is really not good for your health. My recommendation is all you need is that one person that you can open up to. You don't have to go, to millions of people and say, hey, everybody, my mother just passed away and I feel horrible. And they'll be like, okay. It's important to have that one person. I call it a circle of light. Right? The people who elevate you, people who are there for you, people that when you walk away from them after being with them, that you feel elevated and not brought down, right? You don't want to be around people who are energy drainers. So that circle of light, I have to say that, within my work and my community, anyone that is doing my programs, we have an actual circle of light group where they are in there amongst themselves, helping each other out. It's important that you reach out to somebody that you can share and be vulnerable with, who is not going to judge you for it. And that is really, really important, because sometimes things are really not as bad as you have them in your head, right? And so you need somebody to actually kind of bring you back down and say, don't worry, everything will be okay.
Cool. All right,
Yeah.
Sonia, thank you so much for being with us today. I love just how much your heart is so forward when it comes to helping people bounce back. That's why you're impacting millions of people. And Kevin and I just thank you for being here for us today, and for the support and the love that you've shown to Mentor to Millions. And We just ask everybody listening, if you haven't picked up your copy, please do. And then as soon as you do that, go over and pick up a copy of Sonia's book, Unsinkable, or go watch the movie. And
go watch the movie. That's our number. And trust me.
Go watch the movie. That's the next step. So we like to, so what we love to do is at the end, and you already hit it, but I'm going to just do it anyway. So we like to do a little trivia thing. And we also like to say the next best thing you can do. And we already just hit that. So Ziglar used to say, I don't care how big of a step you take, but I care that you take the biggest step you can and take it right now. So the biggest thing you can do is go over and register for her movie, get the free ticket. You can watch it later if you need to, but go get it right now. And here's the thing, Kevin and I are going to personally sign this book for one person, and they have to answer a trivia question. And that trivia question comes from you, Sonia. And so it's something from what you shared. All right. So it's one question, and don't make it too easy. All right. But what is one question from some piece of content that you shared? And the first person to get it right will get a signed copy of Mentor to Millions from Kevin and I.
Okay. What is the first step to bouncing back?
All right. There we go.
That's not too hard. If you took notes, you'll know what it is.
Okay, I would say so. Mind. I think reprogram your conscious mind. That's really it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that would be Robin.
But Robin's on top of everyone. He won every book this week, I think. That's
all
great.
Right. And so reprogram your mind. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, Sonia, thank you for being here.
Before we go, I just want to make sure that everybody goes and gets a copy of this book. I promise you, Mentor to Millions, it really is one of the best. That's why when I send it to my community, it's like what I love about it is it mixes everything together so you can live your greatest life. Definitely grab the book. I just, like, even just from the very first sentence and the first page, it just grabs you in. Really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Super. Well, that's very kind, Sonia. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
It's great having you today.
My pleasure.
All
right.
Bye-bye.
And everybody that's listening out there, stay on. If you've got questions or comments for the team, our team is going to stay on. If you've got any questions or feedback or anything on Mentor to Millions, you can stay on for a little bit. Sonia's going to sign off. We're going to sign off, but I'll keep the feed live so that you guys can continue to interact if you've got any questions or feedback that you need from the Mentor to Millions team. Sonia, we appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great week. Take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.